With only 11 games left in the season, man, it is getting hot and tight for the Atlanta Hawks. And Chris, myself, we're going to get together and we are going to talk about it all. First of all, let me go ahead and christen the show and start it off. What's going on, Chris?
What's going on, man? How you feeling, man? Welcome back to Hawks Digest, everybody. Hey, man, 3 in a row. That means a streak, right, Walter?
Listen, they're starting to come a little more, I guess, they're not few and far between. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah.
They're starting to come together. The team is starting to come together. I'm starting to really like what I am seeing. How about you, my man?
Oh, absolutely, man. The last 3 games have just been absolutely amazing for the Atlanta Hawks. A defensive rating of 113, which would be good enough for 11th in the NBA right now. But, hey, averaging 130 points per game the last 3 games, I like it. I like it.
That has been somewhat of a consistent around the entire league, in my opinion, was just the amount of scoring. I mean, what's so crazy, me and my wife were just talking about how the Lakers fell to the Bulls, who really enough, they're playing really well too. I think as time gets down to the ending of the season, and this is one of the reasons why I'm starting to like the play-in tournament, because it was something that no one wanted to be involved with in the beginning anyway, and King James had something to say, and everybody went along with it. But I feel as though now we see how important, first of all, the play-in is and positioning, and it feels like the Atlanta Hawks are doing a really good job as far as positioning and getting themselves in the best position going into these play-in tournaments.
Right, I agree, man. And the play-in tournament, I know a lot of people call it the Atlanta Hawks Invitational. It is what it is, man. I mean, hey, this is where we're at. Detroit has been a surprise, honestly, but I
Yes.
mean, bigger staff for them, they're doing great up there. So it doesn't look like, unless they do an absolute collapse, that we're necessarily going to catch them. We are for like about 5 games back.
Right.
So
And the season
they got the
series.
tiebreaker as well.
Right. So it is important, but I think as far as what we're looking at right now, going into the final 11, it's at 11, right? 11 games of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I know we have not Miami, but we already played Miami. We have the Orlando Magic twice.
Right.
Within the last 4 or 5 games. So that's going to be important. That is going to be really important, as well as from what it looks like, we're going to be playing Orlando again for the 7-8 seed play-in for these tournaments.
Yep, man. We got them coming up April 8th, April 13th. Going to be tough matchups. They're right on our heels, nipping at them. These last 3 games, we have been able to at least get just at least a little elbow room. Not much room though, man. We got some big games again, like you just alluded to. Got the Miami Heat coming up one last time. That's a big game. I mean, Trailblazers, a team who is not necessarily, saying in the play-in. Really, they're tanking at this point, but you still got to watch that because those kind of be those trap games. You look at those games like that, the Jazz. You have a few games coming up here that are winnable, but you got to make sure you're on your A game. And I feel like that's another thing that the Hawks have to do too. You know what I'm saying? Don't play down to the competition as they have not the last 3 games. And also make sure you got to focus, you know what I'm saying, and finish these games. I think at the end of the 4th quarter, I think me and you can probably agree, like we would like to see a better 4th quarter to finish strong. And
it seems like that's what they're starting to do now. I'm sorry not to cut you off, but it seems as like that's what they're starting to do. These last games show anybody. I mean, you had a great 3rd quarter from Zaccharie Risacher when they went against the 76ers last night. That was incredible. And we're definitely going to get into both Dyson Daniels and Zaccharie Risacher because, but continue down this list really quickly, friend.
I mean, sure, you really just kind of like segue right into it, though. I mean, even with Zaccharie Risacher, this guy right here deserves to be Rookie of the Year. It's really a 2-man race now. Zaccharie Risacher and Stephon Castle. And Risacher, he's rising up the board week by week. The man has 2 games, 2 in the last 3 games where he scored 16 in the 3rd quarter. That's the 3rd time he's done it in total this season. And this guy, again, like I said, he's rising up the boards. If he can continue to play well and finish this month strong, he's going to have his 2nd consecutive Rookie of the Month award. And shoot, man, I believe eventually he can be number 1, guys. He can.
So question, you do believe that, because I feel as though this is what sucks people in as far as fandom and being fans and stuff like that. Because if he doesn't win it, I'm for one going to be pissed, but I'm going to understand why. And the only reason why I understand he wouldn't win the award is only because it is a big man award. And for some reason, Draymond Green has emerged on this list as, somebody that could possibly win the no, I'm sorry. That's something totally different. I'm talking about Dyson Daniels. But anyway,
right.
I
was going with you.
Yeah, I know. And I sounded like I knew what I was talking about. But no,
I was going with you, brother.
I'm so sorry. Get back to Risacher because, again, it's only a two-man race. I do agree that Stephon Castle holds down the number one spot. But do you think it's too little too late for
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not, bro. I do not feel like it's too little too late. I think Zaccharie Risacher, like I said, if he continues to play well toward the end of this month, he's going to get his second consecutive Rookie of the Month award, which will help his case. Executives, GMs, they're looking at Zaccharie Risacher and they're saying, hey, man, this kid is looking impressive.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And right now, Zaccharie, he's on one. I believe he's the best rookie that's been playing the best basketball, averaging over 12 points per game like the last 10 games. And ultimately, like I said, he's showing up, showing more confidence week after week, game after game. So I'm just saying, I don't know what else Zaccharie Risacher has to do outside of being consistent to prove that he deserves to be Rookie of the Year. He plays consistent. Like I said, finish out this month and finish out the regular season strong, I can see it.
But I will say February has been a tough month. February has been a tough month for January at that. And we can both agree that around that time, Zaccharie wasn't necessarily getting to, because now he's getting to his spots. He can hit the 3-point like no other right now. He's doing but again, do you feel as though it's too little too late? Right now, it does seem like he's sitting. Like March Madness. It does seem like it's March Madness for Zaccharie Risacher. But is it too, again, I'll reiterate the question. Is it too little too late for this young man?
Nope. You're not going to talk me out of it, man. It's not too little too late. Zaccharie Risacher has all the opportunity to win this Rookie of the Year award, man. It's right in front of him. All he has to do is continue to play consistent, continue to be aggressive, continue to build that confidence. And I'm going to tell you something right here. Jalen Johnson, as much as we would love to have him right now, I do not feel like Zaccharie Risacher would be as far as he is if Jalen Johnson was still in the line.
That is a very strong statement. I like that statement, but a very strong one at that. And just to segue really quickly, and just to continue, it is March Madness for the Atlanta Hawks right now. We're winding down March Madness at that. It's the 24th of March, of course. But shouts out to Dyson Daniels for, he didn't win anything just yet. But first of all, 200 steals.
Come on
202 steals in total. 249 steals and blocks combined. Now, and Chris, this is the soapbox that I was on earlier, okay? Because I saw something in my research, and I'll talk about it later when I go alone on mine. And of course, Chris, you're gonna definitely divulge into Zaccharie Risacher a bit further. But with Dyson, man, Draymond, he does a really good job of playing the bully in the NBA, just putting that out there. But he went as far as saying that, Dyson is normally a big man award. I'm sorry. It's unfortunate, but he's got a lot of steals, though. And I did not like how that sounded, just being completely honest. But I got to explain just where I'm at on this, because Draymond, he hit a nerve, okay? In my honest opinion, he really did, because again, this guy, 200 total steals, 202 total steals. You dig what I'm saying? He's third since 2001 to record 200 plus steals. The only other two players to do that was Chris Paul, and I think the other one was Allen Iverson. So this gentleman is jumping into some major waters here. But when I looked at Evan Mobley's block to steal ratio, I think it was like 97 blocks, which was a good job. That's a lot, to like 20 some odd steals. And then I think Draymond, I want to say he had about 80 some odd steals to 62 blocks. And I did that because they somehow have this statistic called stocks, steals and blocks.
Stocks.
Dyson Daniels blows both of them out of the water. Okay.
Out of
And
here.
it just baffles me how they still look at it as a big man award. Like it's great that he's done all of these things, but it's all for nothing. Yes, we understand he's going to get the first team. I think he's going to be first team defense.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. But bro, come on now, it can't be a big man award because guards have won the award before. Look at Marcus Smart. Look at Jordan back in the day. It's just, come on now. That's right there. I respect Draymond and I respect, his basketball mind, but sometimes it just, come on, Draymond, come on with the jokes. I'm just saying, my thing is Dyson Daniels is getting steals in a league to where it's an offensive based game.
Right.
Defense has no more hand checking. And as great as Mookie Blaylock was as a defender, Doc Rivers, all those guys had hand checking as something that they could, as a tool they could use. Dyson Daniels does not have that. Dyson Daniels is also playing both ends of the floor, giving you points, giving you extra possessions, deflections.
He averages about 15 points a game, correct?
Come on now. And then also averaging 3 steals per game, something that we haven't seen since the 80s when it was hand checking. What are we talking about? Like, what else do you want this gentleman to do? This 21-year-old kid that's still 22. He's 22 and a vet in the game.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But, still, like, what more does this 22-year-old kid have to do to prove to you guys that he is the one? Okay? The defensive player of the year. He's getting steals in a league that is offensive driven.
Yeah.
Any given time, you can reach at a guy and get a foul.
Now, since because you brought up something that I think most older fans would often argue, okay, is the fact that, and also that's one of the things that they try to say to our detriment in the NBA now, the younger generation, is that, for one, the hand checking, since, that has been omitted, I would say. Again, the only person that has won it was Marcus Smart, which is extremely unfortunate. But for him to record that with the hand checking thing, along with the emergence of the 3-point shot, how the 3-point shot has become incredible. And I'll talk to you offline as far as how I feel about it watching these NCAA tournaments. But knowing how the 3-point shot has come up, this guy is able to, attack offenses right off the bat. Like, soon as you cross half court, that's it. I mean, it would scare me if he were to kick in Mamba mentality or something like that, or maybe the down under thought. Maybe I'm coining it here. But if he were to come up with something and start to, pick guys up full court, if he were to pick, guys up full court, something like that, it's just, again, it baffles me. And maybe this is something that the NBA is going to have to look at a little more seriously. You know what I mean? Because I'm sorry, from what I'm looking at, the statistics that we can see, over 249 total steals and blocks. Come on.
That's why I said, like, what else do you want Dan to do? And then, by the way, let me give you just some clarity.
Okay.
Marcus Smart, Defensive Player of the Year season, 2021-22. If we're just talking about just stocks, the man had 119 steals and 18 blocks. And won the Defensive Player of the Year now.
Now, granted, it was a shorter season. Mind you, it was a shorter season because of COVID, because the NBA was just now getting adjusted and back into,
Well, it was a full game. It was a full season. We were back in the full season.
This was the season after.
This was the same year that we went to the playoffs against the Bucks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the same time, like, he played 71 games.
Right.
But my thing is, even if he would have played 82 games, he wasn't getting over 200 steals.
But I also think, and I want to say that they're allowing, because I think someone argued that total wins, team wins, and stuff like that, I think that shouldn't play a part in it completely.
No,
You know,
no. If a guy, my thing is, if a guy is going out there and scoring, what I'm saying, my thing is like he's putting up 37 points per game, right?
Okay,
But he's not winning. They still give him the scoring title.
true.
So I mean, it's because at the end of the day, he was scoring the most points. Like no matter what team went up against this player, he was putting up 35, 37 a game.
And you're right. I mean, to a degree, again, no matter who is playing, this young man has not been afraid to, go up against the strongest man. Oh, we're run out of time. It seems like. Oh, my bad. Zoom is reminding us. It's all good. Keep it going. But
yeah, it's all good, man.
But as we wind down, since of course we've been notified, but as we wind down, it's time for us to really look into the final, few games of the season. Again, we've already talked about what we can see, but just as a team, again, how do you feel about this team? To the people in the comments, leave us a comment definitely, because the question of today, of course, will be: is the Hawks core enough? With the additions, because I'm more from the side of additions. Give me your take as far as what we already have. We got about 9 minutes left. What do you got?
Well, I mean, we are 11-8, since the trade deadline.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we are starting to turn the corner, I believe. I believe we're starting to, like I said, the last 3 games since that Brooklyn loss, which was a bad one.
Yeah.
But since then, I feel like we've been able to bounce back. It's all about just gaining that consistency.
Right.
Because I'm happy about the Hornets win and the Sixers win because you took care of business and did what you were supposed to do. Now the Warriors win was more impressive because that team was had won 9 out of their last 10 games coming into it on a 3-game road winning streak.
Right.
And I know they didn't have Steph Curry. Hey, we don't have Jalen Johnson. Cry me a river.
Right.
And it's just at the same time we was able to take care of business there. So that was an impressive win, a win that we needed. Now we have another team coming up in the Rockets. It's like, can we see if we can have that consistency? That's what it's all about, building down the street and getting hot at the right moment. If we can start getting those shots to drop, if Niang is on point,
right.
If you have Karis LeVert doing what he's doing off the bench, that bench is going to be big in the playoffs for the Atlanta Hawks. We already know they're going to try to double Trae, Dyson Daniels, Zaccharie Risacher, and others. If they're able to knock down their shots, guess what you can't do anymore? Trap Trae. Right. So is the core enough? It's tough to say if they're enough. If we get the right matchups, I believe that we can take advantage of it. I think, no one wants to see us in the first round, like a la Cleveland, a la Boston, because we're going to be a tough out regardless. I believe that this team is starting to gel together.
Yeah.
And in the offseason, really, the playoffs is going to let us see exactly where we are, and we can move forward after that, man. What are your thoughts?
Just to wrap it up and just to kind of bring it in. Again, I honestly feel as though these Atlanta Hawks are set to, again, what you say, shock the world. And honestly, in my honest opinion, I looked over just the grid of what it looks like. Of course, going into the play-in, we're going to be taking on Orlando. Not saying it's an easy win, but I do feel as though this is something that, again, if what you said, if they can take care of business, which they have done against lesser teams more recently. They've taken care of business. If they can do so against Orlando, then we can definitely hope to meet Boston in the first round, which we have a 2-1 lead over those guys in the season, just in general. So that right there says a lot. And it's about matchups. I don't think anyone would want to see the Atlanta Hawks. Am I saying that the Hawks are sure, like a legit win against, a 7-game series? I'm not saying that, but I'm definitely sure it'll go 6. I don't have any quotes or poems like Shannon Sharp does with the Lakers, but you know what I mean? I feel as though the Atlanta Hawks can definitely push it to 6 games. I think from that point on, it's anywhere. It's anywhere up from here. And again, this has been a crazy month. It has been an incredible March, and I think April is going to be interesting to see what the Atlanta Hawks can do. Any other words? Any last words, really quick?
Hey man, all I gotta say is continue to support this team. I think we're going to get a pleasant surprise once we get to the playoffs, and regardless, still see where we are. Off season is going to be big. Got a lot of decisions we have to make. We're going to see about how this roster is going to look. But the encouraging thing is Zaccharie Risacher's development, the
Mm-hmm.
development of Dyson Daniels, and you know what I'm saying, being like that secondary point guard
Right.
next to and behind Trae in the non-Trae Young minutes.
Right.
Hey man, we had Onyeka Okongwu was a pleasant surprise. We have
Muhammad
some
Gay.
core pieces.
Muhammad
Muhammad
Gay.
Gay,
Yeah.
yeah, Moji. He has to. Moji just, you know what I'm saying, he's got to continue to work on that shot.
Yeah.
And I believe it's coming. It's coming for him. Because I mean, hey, look at Zach at the beginning of the season, right? So everybody's gonna start coming together, and we're gonna have a team, man. We just gotta stay on that right path and not get too crazy.
Final words, in my honest opinion. No, not in my opinion. This is fact. Sign
Okay.
Trae Young. Get Trae
Gotcha.
Young to stay in Atlanta because we haven't talked about that enough. I'll dig into it a little further later on this week as the week goes by. But sign Trae Young, extend his contract, make sure he stays in Atlanta. With all that being said, that is Chris Tip Moore. My name is Walter Pollard, and we are signing out. Peace.
Peace.